to talk about a half guard submission, a guillotine, but actually when the person starts overhooking you. It's very common for your opponent to start overhooking you when you have the underhook. Now usually when the person starts overhooking me, I like to get to my knees and I like to get to like a side-to-side position. So in that way it's almost like we're both on our knees, and I'll show you in a second. From here we have a lot of different sweeps that we can do. But there's also a submission that we can do as well that I like to do because your body is actually in the proper position to get a lot of leverage for the submission. Now, I may not go into extreme detail about the guillotine, like how to finish the mechanics of the guillotine. However, just having the setup alone will help you increase your arsenal so then that way you have more attacks, especially if you're somebody who likes doing guillotines as well. So, I'm going to have spaz inside my half guard here. On my side, I have the underhook. My left leg, I like to step my leg over. So that way, I swipe his leg open, and then I compromise the bounce a little bit, put a little pressure on his hip. From here, whenever somebody has the overhook on me or the whizzer, I like coming up like this. I do this most of the time. Here, I have different sweeps that I can do. I can knee pick him. I can roll him this way. I have a wrist lock that I can do to him. I can do an air guitar, so on and so forth. But this time, I'm going to go for a guillotine. Look at his head. See how his head is up here? A lot of people will have their head up. They are not expecting you to attack them. What I'm going to do is I'm immediately going to take my arm and I'm going to turn my body into him and I'm going to attack his head. I like to chop the side of my forearm and my wrist into the side of his neck. Now this arm comes inside and I'm grabbing my own hand, the top of my hand. Then from there, I drop my elbow to the ground. I'm hooking his leg. This leg goes over. I twist my body. And then I finish the guillotine from there. It's a very, very slick way of getting the guillotine because during this transition, people don't even realize that you're about to do this. So, when I'm here, I come inside like this. I swipe his leg open. Then from there, I come up here. Okay, I'm posting my hand out. We're next to each other. I keep my leg in the middle. Alright, I hardly ever take my leg out from in between his legs. I keep my leg in the middle. I can air guitar, I can take his back, I can knee pick him, possibly, and then knock him over from here. If he pushes back into me, I can roll him over this way. There's so many things that I can do. However, I like doing guillotines as well. So I'm going to take my hand, lift my body up. From here, my arm is going to go over his head. I'm going to quickly switch my hips. Okay? Notice how I step this leg back. I keep this hook because I want to keep him. This hand comes inside. I'm grabbing the top of my choking hand. From there, I bring this leg over his back, and then I turn my body into him. I'm always turning into the choking arm. So when we're here, like this, I got the underhook. I swipe his leg open. I come side to side from here. This arm comes up, attack. Look at my hand. Right here, the knife part. It knifes into him. Then this hand comes under, and I'm grabbing the top of my palms, okay? A lot of people, lots of times I do have my fingers open because I get that knife, but once I come here, I'll cup his chin. So I'm protecting my fingers, okay? Because the common question will be, well, if you have your fingers open, can he grab your fingers? Yes, they can. A lot of times I do this quick enough to where the person doesn't grab my fingers, but I also do cup his chin, and I do close my fist a lot as well. So I'm here like this, I grab, I drop my elbow, and I throw this leg over his back, and then from here, I bring my shoulder up and I twist. So then that way I can get the submission. This is very, very tight guillotine because his head is on the proper side. Very rarely do I finish guillotines from full guard. The main reason for that is because I usually can't get a good torque most of the time, especially for my body type in regards to finishing the guillotine. I like finishing the guillotine with half guard. If my right leg is inside here, just a simple concept here. When he's on top, if my right leg is inside, I want his head to my right because it's easier for me to finish the guillotine. If his head is to my left, I cannot finish the guillotine as well. His head is on the opposite side, so it takes away the leverage. So if my right leg is inside, guillotines from half guard are really good when his head is on my right. Okay? If my leg wasn't inside, I would just have my shin across his body. Here. Like this. I would put my shin across his body because I can get really good leverage to finish the guillotine. If my left leg was inside, this is a good concept to think about. If my left leg was inside, I'm going to push his head to my left. And then I'll get the guillotine and finish from there. I even use this concept just from regular half guard. This happens a lot. I'm here like this, right? The person's head is over to the left here. I'll take his head and I'll shove it to this side, and then I'll just sit up and I'll work the guillotine. And the way I do the shallow guillotine, I hit it with the arm in as well. So I'll hit arm in and I'll hit arm out guillotines as well. Because, once again, I'm hitting the knife part. Right here, I'm only choking one side of the neck. Then I come inside, I'm over his arm now, I grab, and then my elbows go tight. Shove my shoulder up, and then I twist. So then that way, I can get the submission. Don't do this. A lot of people do this. They arch. Don't arch, because when you arch, in my opinion, it makes it easier for him to get out. He starts being able to pop his head out. All right, and we don't want that to happen. So that's a very, very good guillotine, in my opinion, from half guard. And we also gave you some quick options in regards to that position as well, and some concepts that you can work with in regards to looking for the guillotine from the half guard too. So in that way, you know the person's head is on the proper side, and you can work to finish from there. So work on these techniques if you're a half guard player, and also work on these techniques if you're somebody who likes attacking the guillotines, and hopefully it's something that can help you with your game. All right, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Send me a message, and I will talk to you soon.